Greetings, beautiful people. It's your girl, Yo. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day so far. Look, all right, so let's talk about something. I want to talk about something that's pretty serious. Let's talk about this big fat old elephant that's been in the room for a minute or two. Okay, so here's the elephant. All right, now y'all know that school has started for some people now. You know, going back to school, it started coming up soon, right? Okay, some of the children are already in school. Well, this message is for the parents. Let me talk to you guys about something. Now, some of y'all might get upset, but you know, yo, that's not my intention. But if you do get upset and it's something that I say, then you need to check yourself, okay? All right, here we go with this. Look, quick question. Have you sat and met your teacher, your child's teacher? Have you had a one-on-one conversation, day one, when school starts, to introduce yourself and your child? You haven't, huh? Well, you the one I'm talking to. Let's get it. All right, so look. You know, a whole lot of stuff going on with all these missing children. You see these children on on the milk cartons and all that kind of stuff. You've been seeing that a lot. You see children going and stuff, walking to school by themselves and all of that. Let me tell you something. We need to stop and cut this thing out now. We in 2022 going on 2023 now, okay? We going into the year 2023. That's what they say the year is. Okay, so it's time to do things a little bit different if you haven't already been doing this. Now, both of my children are grown and out of school, okay? And these are some suggestions that I would suggest to you guys, you parents, especially you new ones. And some of you old ones probably don't even know what you should be doing. Now, what I used to do is I would go up to the school, first day of school, and I introduce myself to the teachers, each one of them. And I would make an appointment to make sure that we had a one-on-one conversation. Even if I had to sit the first day of school until all the other children and parents came and met the teacher and went on, I don't care if I was the last one. That teacher was going to know who Yo was, right? She was going to know, or he was going to know, that the child that I'm bringing to them, that I care about, and that nothing is going, and I'm going to work with them throughout that whole school year, and I want to know everything that's going on with my child, right? And I gave them my personal phone number where they can call me at any time. Another thing, I let them know that I am entrusting them to be the so-called other parent, or the mama or dad or whatever, to try to teach my children what is right. And I wanted them to know that I cared about mine, and I care about what they're trying to do for mine. I didn't go up there and act like mine was so special and all this and all that. I let them know that I am going to work with you, and I'm not bringing my kids to you to babysit my children. I let the teachers know that. I just let them know that they're supposed to do the educational part, and I wanted each one of us to know what our roles were in the beginning, day one. See? You need to get that straight first with the teacher. And I'm saying, and don't go up there with no pajamas on and a rag on your head like you just got out of bed with your child and you're going to have a conversation. No, you go up there looking professional, looking presentable. It's a business transaction. That teacher is getting paid to teach your child, right? Right? And so you want that teacher to know that you're a professional as well, because you are entrusting them to raise your child, right? And let them know that you're open. And let them also know that they can call you at any time. And I know some of the teachers will call you for like little crazy stuff that you may think is crazy, but make sure you check whatever they're calling you for and check it, because your child is not an angel. See? And what they do at home, they sometimes show off at school. They act totally different. See? And when I had the conversations with the teachers one-on-one, my children, or my child, that individual child, because I have a boy and a girl, was sitting right there and heard the whole conversation. You understand? So now this child already is aware that I can't go to school to show off, because mama and daddy gonna know. They're gonna know what's going on, right? So they behave themselves. That's number one. Okay? Now, I know that you work and everything like that. Some parents work and some of them don't, or whatever. Some work at home or what have you. Whatever your situation is when it comes to employment, if you don't have a job and you get ready to get a job, or even if you're working on a job, make it clear, and you have children, make it clear to your supervisor, listen, I'm going to be here on this job and I'm going to do this job that you want me to do. But if I am called at any time when it comes to it pertaining to my children, about any reason, I am leaving this job because they are my number one priority. If you want me to work extra hours and all that stuff, let me tell you when I'm available to do it. Because the number one priority is my child. That's what you tell your employer up front. You let them know that the job is not important, your child is. It's all about priority. And once the employer know that, if you happen to get a call from school or something and have to leave work, they already understand. It's already understanding. See? Get that understanding up front. Now, another thing. Sometimes on your lunch break, if you're at work and all this stuff like that, sometimes you need to get up and if you're a parent that don't work, you need to cut off, especially the ones that don't work now, these ones too, you got to cut off the Bold and the Beautiful, the Young and the Restless, and all those soap operas. See, you got to get up out that bed after you drop them kids off to school and go back home. You can't get back in the bed and lay on that ass. You need to get up. We're now lunchtime, and you need to dress professionally, not with no pajamas on and all that old crazy stuff. And you need to go to your school unannounced and have lunch with your kid in the cafeteria. Meet the cafeteria lady. You understand? Sit at the table where your children at and see what they talking about. Have lunch with them. Spend a few minutes with them. Then go back to work. You understand? The children don't have to know that you're coming. See, this way everybody know that you are a parent that is very active into what your children are doing. You see? And same if you had elderly parents or something in a nursing home. That's a different video, because I used to work in nursing homes too. And see, the nursing assistants used to know when the people that care about like the children or something, they have that parent in a nursing home, they used to get those people up just in time because they knew that them people was coming on schedule. Sometimes you need to break that schedule, you see, and go check on yours, because ain't nobody else going to pay attention to yours unless you know, or unless they know that yours is important to you. Okay? Now, when it comes to having these different curriculums at school, they have, they can play basketball, football team, y'all go get the cleats and all that stuff and get the uniforms for school and all that. Look, now, I'm not telling you not to put your children in those type of activities, but the number one activity that y'all need to start teaching y'all children is self-defense classes. You need to save some of that money and take them and put them in karate classes so they can learn how to defend themselves. You see? Instead of worrying about them, the cheerleaders, girls get the cheerleader outfit. Look, save that money and put it towards them learning self-defense, because they're young now. They need to learn this at a young age, because we did. My father and mother put us into karate classes, right? And so we had to learn these karate moves, and I still know them to this day, and I'm 60 years old Sunday. So what I'm saying to you is, you need to put them in things that's going to be useful to them. Home economics, if they have that in those classes and stuff. Trades and coding, if they have that in your schools. Let that be something that they are learning, okay? While you, the parent, away. All right. Now, when it comes to them going to school, and if some of them have to stand at their bus stop, they be standing by themselves and all that stuff. Stop all of that. Make sure that they're going to a bus stop in groups, and they're waiting for the bus in groups, and there is an adult that is waiting for them to make sure that they get on the bus and off the bus if they're traveling with the buses. Make sure there's somebody that's responsible to do that and be there for them. Make sure you know what color clothes that they have on and all that stuff. See, y'all so busy worrying about, some of y'all are worried about the outfits that they're wearing and what they're going to do when they go back to school. See, that's not important. What's important is to know what color did you put on them that day before they left out the house. What color did you put on them? What type of clothes did they have on? Just in case something do happen that they are missing in between the times that they are in the schools and before they get home. See? Even if you have an adult escorting them to and from the school buses and having them walk into school, make sure they're walking in groups and there is an adult with them. See, we can prevent some of these unnecessary missing children and all that old crazy stuff, because if you up on yours as a parent, ain't nobody gonna be missing. See, it ain't no missing child. Somebody is lacking, and it ain't your child, because they doing what you tell them to do. Those latchkey kids that has to come home while you at work and all this stuff like that, and they coming home by themselves, going into the house by themselves. Look, you need to make sure that you have somebody that you can trust that's in your community that make sure, but you got to make sure you can trust them. Even with the family members, you got to make sure you can trust them to ensure that your child is going to get in the house safely until someone can come home, arrive home, right? So we're going to have to start doing better with this kind of stuff. We're going to have to do better because, like I said, I don't want to see no parent on the news talking about how good the child was. They were straight A students and all this stuff like that. What were you doing as the parent that they're missing? What were you doing? Now, I know we don't have any control over these school mishaps. I'm calling it that because I don't want this video to get probably taken down for the usage of my words. But we can't see what's going to happen or know exactly what's going to happen there. But we can still prevent some of that too, for real. If we had some of these soldiers that's on the street, our men that's not working nowhere, if we have them somewhere watching the schools and stuff, surveilling the schools and stuff during the daytime instead of being on the corner doing what they ain't supposed to do. If we had some fellas, some of our brothers, some of our little young lions, our kings, that's not dirty, you understand, and legit, protecting the schools from the outside looking in, you understand? Those are things that can happen. And some mama bears, and those mamas that's not working or nothing like that, those mama bears sitting out there watching the schools and stuff instead of doing other things, that they shouldn't be doing. Maybe messing with somebody's husband or whatever, or boyfriend or girlfriend while somebody at work. While y'all doing all that trickery, y'all need to get together as a mama bear team, because we had some mama bear teams when I was raising my children. We all looked out for other people's children, making sure everybody was safe. We got to do better. We got to stop making it all about us and bringing it back together, bringing it in, knowing that it's all about the children, especially if you don't want to see no mama with snot running down her nose on the news or a child on a milk carton. It's enough of these missing children that we don't know where they are and all this stuff. It's time's up for all of that. It's time's up for all of that. See? And we can't keep on blaming everybody. We need to start pointing the finger at ourselves. What are we doing as parents? Huh? What we doing? What we doing? Okay? It's a whole lot of things that we could do more better to protect our children. See? There's a whole lot of things we can do. But I just gave you some examples of the things that you could do to keep your children safe. Okay? Don't trust nobody, a whole lot of people with your children now. Make sure you know who is and make sure you let that teacher know or the school know. When nobody's to come pick your child up, but this person or that person, whatever person that you say or appoint for the beginning of the school year, and until you give them further notice that nobody else is supposed to come up to the school and say that they coming to pick your child up. You got to make all this stuff clear in the beginning. And let me say something else. Last point. You need to be at every PTA meeting when it comes to your child. I don't care if they get straight A's. You need to be there. You need to actually be on the PTA meeting and on the board. If you ain't nothing but the secretary, somebody, you see? Because what I did, even working, what I did was, when I was working, I was a cafeteria lady, part-time. I got a part-time job as the cafeteria lady and working a full-time job while my children was in school. I did that. Yeah. I would also go up there and volunteer for all the little different games and stuff that they had, just so I could be there with mine and watch other people's children. See, we have to be more active. We cannot expect other people to raise our children. We got to stop being lazy and get up off that ass and do what we're supposed to do as parents. You understand? Because they are our future. They are you. All right? And I'm telling you, when you do that and you're active, your children do better. And I'm going to brag on mine. My oldest son, he skipped, he graduated early. He graduated his class early. And I already told y'all I skipped a grade in high school. My daughter, she could have graduated early too, but she wanted to come out with her class, with her classmates that she started school with. See? I'm telling you, and both of them are smart as whips. See? I'm telling you, if you're an active parent and your child know that you're going to be involved in what they're doing in school, they're going to try to do their best because they want to please you. Let me tell you a quick story and I'm going to let you go. I remember when my son was in the 3rd grade and he was over, y'all, I ain't need to say the school name because anyway, he was in the 3rd grade and I got a phone call. And this way, I had my 24-hour child care service in my own building, in my own place. Okay, look, he was at school. The teacher called me. Her name was Mrs. Best. She called me and she said, Mrs. Y'all know Miss Yo. I'm just saying that as an example. Your son, he's not moving. He's not moving, and I don't understand why he won't get up. All the other children, when the bell ring, everybody gets up and all of that, and he don't move. He don't leave. He stays still. He's the only one left in the classroom. He won't leave unless I directly say something to him to tell him to move. He don't answer any questions or raise his hands, and and answer any questions on the board and then like that. Something is wrong. Something is wrong with him. She thought something was wrong with him. You know, I had to explain to her that I've taught my children to be respectful, and if you want him to answer a question on the board, call his name and ask him, you call his name and say, what's the answer to that? If he's supposed to get in the line, in a class line and move and get up in the classroom in the line, and he don't move until you tell him that he's supposed to do it, that he's gonna sit where he was supposed to be sitting. You understand? It's called respect and doing what you're supposed to do when your elders tell you to do something. It's called self-control. It's called paying attention. It's called speak when you're spoken to. It's called manners. See? You understand? We need to get them in check. And it ain't like training no child like no dog or nothing crazy like that. It's showing them how to behave themselves and be respectful. Of course, to this day, the teacher, Miss Best, is still living. And my son still have a relationship with this teacher from time to time. She always will call and find out how he's doing in his life and what his career is. And yes, he's doing very well. He's doing very well, and so is my daughter. I'm saying that to simply say, be active in your children's life. You don't want to have them on no milk carton. You don't want to be on no news with snot running down your nose and tears and crying and everybody trying to comfort you with guilt. And what did I do wrong? I told y'all before, I have no regrets. If my children show off the day of tomorrow and do something they're not supposed to do, that's on them. Because yo did what I was supposed to do. No regrets. Okay? So let's save our children and start stepping it up as parents and doing what we're supposed to do to keep our children safe. Okay? All right. Now, y'all inhale that for me. Okay? Inhale it for me. Okay? Because I don't know your children, but I'm going to tell you what, I love them like I love my own. Okay? Peace, family.